do
it. And we're back again.
Because doing it makes us feel good.
Yeah.
That was from Lockhart.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That is one of those movies that just ruined, like, any, like, other, like, a serious attempt at doing a movie like that.
I still enjoyed the Elvis movie, but what I found amusing about the Elvis movie is that it's just, like, every single beat, It's
still, yeah.
Like, almost even more so than the Johnny Cash movie, after which it was, like, spoofing the hardest.
Right.
You know, this Elvis movie that came out, like, 10 years later or more.
It almost felt like that was the movie that Lockhart was actually making fun of in its own weird way.
Absolutely. Because Elvis has, like, a serious, not... I mean, it's still, like, played up, exaggerated, but it's still got, like, not a parody version of the part in Walk Hard where he starts singing and the girls just start fucking going crazy in the stands and really sexual and shit.
Right.
Like, you know.
That's fun. Devil uses these hands. For holding.
For holding. Yeah.
New York wasn't exciting enough during the holidays. There is now a tropical storm/hurricane creeping its way up the coast. Oh yeah, just like that movie where the boat gets flipped over by a big wave, you know?
Is that she talked about Poseidon? You remember that? You remember that movie? It's a pressure valve. It only opens under extreme pressure.
Until next time, remember to check your credit score annually. You get one free...
Who is the Donko person again?
She's just like some random podcast that Miles decided to listen to instead of Jameson. Wow, that was an abrupt transition. Oh, the graffiti artist at the beginning.
Huh.
Not a glitch this time. She's actually just doing sign language.
I would love if Miles just didn't know sign language. I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know what the fuck you're trying to get at here.
Well, that other woman who was silent, that was just a glitch for some reason where the voice acting didn't kick in.
Right,
so it's funny that happened. Like as an accident,
person.
And then there's actually someone using sign language, like for real.
You followed them?
I mean, I'm guessing she knows that this Spider-Man can speak in sign language.
Yeah, no, they
interacted before.
Yeah, they've definitely.
Because I was just gonna say, I mean, I'm sorry if you are a deaf person, you know sign language, but you couldn't just go up to everybody and just assume that they're gonna know sign language.
You wouldn't just like you wouldn't go up to everyone and assume they know English, right? Like any language. But yeah,
there's a greater chance of it, like in America, though, than knowing.
Yeah, but you still shouldn't assume.
Yeah, well, it's the language I'm going to try out first. Since it's,
then that'd be the language you would try out first.
Yeah, but she would.
It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Dope. Call you when I'm there.
Is that the tallest building in the city?
Avengers Tower.
I don't think I don't think it's the tallest. It's close, I think, but not the absolute tallest. But no, we've already watched them interact a little earlier in the game.
Sure.
She was the one that was painting that mural in the opening cutscenes that we walked by. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna clear them out. See if I can shut down this whole operation.
Fuck stealth. Doing it. That guy somehow not noticed me.
Was one of the henchmen specifically named?
What's up?
It said like, or there was like
I
one
didn't
of them
catch
that was
that.
named Rohe or something.
Rohe?
That's something.
I have what nationality is the name Rohe from? Like, it's just like some enclave of surfer dudes coming up with their own naming scheme. Oop, wrong button. Oop. Are you dead? Yeah, you're dead.
I don't know why this kind of makes me think of like an Arkham game fight a little bit.
I mean, I think all the combat
Well,
is at least a little reminiscent. Where? That? Where? I see the dots, but
like,
not the
especially
guys.
just like being out on the docks and stuff. You know?
Oh, sure. Oh, there you guys are. You're all hiding over there. Yeah, I mean, I definitely think, I mean, they definitely took inspiration for, like, the mechanics of how the combat works from the Arkham games, but just tweaked it just enough for it to be a Spider-Man system instead. Which I mean, I'm so excited to see the symbiote powers, right, applied. Like, I mean, we've seen it a little bit already, but, like, to really see that get applied to this combat system.
Just, yeah, how powerful he will be.
Like I said last night, like, they really made Miles more, feel like a lot more fun, I think, to play as than Peter, and so the symbiote powers are almost like them having to rebalance out the entertainment factor in the combat. Footprints. And, well, I can't really see the footprints. I could just see your ass, Miles, but...
Maybe if I rub my ass all over this crime scene.
That's like a cat detective's way of solving problems.
Maybe if I obscure the evidence with my ass.
Yeah. Oh. Look at that.
Hold network data.
Secret underground.
The raft are definitely coming from here.
So cut the network connection.
So what do you think of this this suit?
No more boss giving them orders.
This is cool.
Exactly.
I like it because it's
similar.
Like comic book.
Yeah.
Like his comic book costume.
Cool.
Because I might be in the minority here, but like I sort of like in the Spider-Verse movies, I sort of like his Into the Spider-Verse
More
form
than is Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, I don't know why. There's just like less detail below the graffitied spider and stuff in Across the Spider-Verse. So like this costume I like a little more than the Across the Spider-Verse one.
Sure.
But first try
It just feels a little more maybe uniform.
If this setup belongs to who I think it does.
Oh, there you go. I was just saying, talking about this part last night.
Who are you?
Oh crap.
Fisk.
A child playing dress-up, pretending to be Spider-Man.
Well, Spider-Man is a child playing.
Right, right. It's funny because if you knew Peter Parker was Spider-Man for however long, the same thing would apply to him.
You'll learn that when you cross me, the people you want to protect are the ones who suffer.
I wonder if Kingpin will have much of a part to play in the second game, because he had a big part in the first one, and then it's like this game almost just like teased him coming back just there.
Point. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't want him in the story if it's. I mean, I guess a video game gets
so much time
of having a lengthy story. So
because you can always use side missions to tell like mini arcs with different villains too.
Yeah, that's true.
Because like we had the whole thing with Taskmaster in the first game that didn't really play a part of the main narrative at all, but it was still there.
Yeah.
Or that Tombstone side mission, which kind of felt like its own self-contained thing.
Yeah, side missions are a great place to allocate story.
Especially in a superhero where franchise where you have like the Arkham games did a great job of that too, right? Where like they got way more villains and by having side missions attached to many of them.
That's true. Like Mad Hatter and shit.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have a actor that you'd want to play a Mad Hatter. Like if we got a live action creepy like horror movie Mad Hatter Batman thing.
If they were like making a movie right now with the Mad Hatter,
Yeah. If they, like where you had to cast it, we're like in 2023.
If he wasn't already playing Willy Wonka, I would personally put like Timothy Chalamet in
I can see it.
of Mad Hatter, just because I would like to stretch, because Chalamet is gonna be charming or whatever as Willy Wonka.
Ideally at least.
I would like to stretch his chops and have him play someone
who's
who could take this figure that's like very surface level, charming and handsome, and make him be this creep, that version of Willy Wonka that Mad Hatter kind of is, you know.
Right.
That would,
So you're saying more like the Johnny Depp Willy Wonka.
I mean, sometimes Mad Hatter's kind of like that.
No, that's true.
Yeah, but I think that would be a greater flexibility of like a dude like that's acting than just having him play
the actual
charming fucking Willy Wonka or whatever. Which I think there should be like some element of Willy
sinister
Wonka that's not charming. You know, like
well, Gene Wilder would do that.
So like Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka is already almost like a perfect Mad Hatter type character.
That's true. Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, like the way that that first scene is him pretending to need a cane. So you can, like, just opening with that, so you can never believe what he's saying for the rest of the movie.
Right.
Yeah. I just hope they don't make him, like, a weird, incestuous rapist like they did in Gotham. Like, stalker, creepy, right?
Yes, I think
assaulter,
they could,
but maybe leave the incestuous part out. I think Gotham, they went too creepy with that.
Yeah, they certainly did. But it was hilarious in Gotham when Mad Hatter was calling Gordon from that payphone.
He kept hanging up on him. The guy's like, don't you hang up on me.
He just kept having to pay that payphone to talk. It's like,
I hope he lost a lot of money.
Yeah.
And that's how you get the scarf. Get that alternate costume with the scarf. See, of all the characters in this game that he could be interested in.
I was just about to say if
she would be a way better.
Did the sign language for Smash,
Well, compared to his friend that is the villain, who's a much less likable and engrossing character. That character having very little screen time to me would be a much better. I don't know.
Yeah. No,
We did it together. How's it feel to be Harlem's friendly neighborhood Spider-Man?
Not gonna lie, pretty good.
I wonder. I think you don't actually run into any other characters in this, or in these games, right? They're we stick to Spider-Man. We don't see any Avengers. We don't see any X-Men. But you'd think that it would be cool to get maybe let's do some small appearances by some of the characters that you would think most logically might pop up around here. This whole game's focused on Harlem.
Right.
You could reasonably see a Daredevil or a Luke Cage appearance, without it being forced in.
Yeah.
Trinity Church? No. She knows I lied to her now. She won't want to see me.
Also, a good actor at being creepy and unhinged would, David DeSmallchin.
That's true.
If you're wanting to get
he would probably
bigger
be
villain role, would be a good Mad Hatter, I think.
Yeah, no, honestly, he would actually be a great Mad Hatter. He was the creepiest Joker goon ever in The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
He had that was the most that was the appropriate amount of unhinged I feel you'd have to be to actually work for Joker.
Oh yeah. But I mean, even then, he was. I guess I would consider him more sort of pacified than some thugs that could be working for Joker that have violent psychoses or whatever.
Well, that's true.
Whereas this guy, you know,
But it seems like there's a lot of...
Batman, you know, laid out like this guy's a paranoid schizophrenic.
Yeah,
He's,
yeah.
You know, he lamented him in a way with how he described him.
But also, it always seems like there's a lot of, like...
The Joker just brings out the worst in mentally ill people.
But it seems like there's always a lot of henchmen that aren't themselves mentally ill, but are just, like, in it for the paycheck. And you just wonder, sometimes, like, those guys, like, man, you guys really, you must be real fucking greedy down to the absolute core of your being to fucking put up with this shit.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yes.
Like
greed
there's...
is, pretty...
Yeah. There's just so many of those thugs you can listen to have conversations, like in the Arkham games, where I'm like, you guys seem like you have some logical, rational faculties in your brain here. Why are you taking this job?
This was my playbook before you even born, young blood.
This is setting up another one of the side missions that you can follow up and do a bunch of, but like taking like samples of sounds and stuff.
Scan the holograms and it'll unlock files on that drive I gave you. Help you figure out which sound you're looking for. Not a match, though. Keep looking. Try moving in a little closer. But not quite what we're looking for.
Oh, wait. Yeah, hang on. There we go.
Yeah, that's it.
That's another one where we're not going to do the whole thing, but...
Rest of the sounds you need are spread across the city. I left a few messages.
Side mission-wise, little preview of, if you end up playing this yourself. Oh, we got a glitchy scarf.
Yeah.
Not now.
I want one of those for Christmas.
A glitchy scarf.
Get something you like?
Yeah, really unique dynamics.
See? Old man still knows his stuff.
I don't know nearly enough about making music and like sampling to know if that sound would actually be any good.
Right.
But I've heard other people say that the samples that you take in the game are not very good. Actually, like sound samples. But I'm not, I don't know enough to. Yeah, I literally have no idea to have an opinion on that myself.
Someone should.
And this Prowler, while he is like more true to like the Prowler like in the 90s Spider-Man animated series and generally how Prowler is depicted in the comic, there is also no kind of beating that sinister sort of
Oh, in the movie? Oh, yeah, no, absolutely, man.
And his music that popped up every time he popped up,
Finish the tape, get all the samples, and you'll hear the whole story. Promise.
But I suppose that was
Thanks, Unc.
kind of an alternate universe version of Prowlers.
I mean, like, in this is another alternate universe.
That's true. But this is very classical Prowler, I feel.
Oh, and then he even is, like, helping, so he's even ratting on where he's going to someone else to try and catch the Tinker.
But, like, how he's talking is that sort of casual, friendly banter he'd have with Peter Parker as well.
Yeah, no, that's true.
That dialogue.
Man, I needed that. I was beat.
Which is why I liked why Into the Spider-Verse, even Peter B. Parker was like, "Oh, Prowler!" Like he's just kind of like when he shows up.
The reaction was funny.
He was kind of like, "Why are you being an asshole?"
All right, give me the map marker, huh?
Yeah.
Come on. No, I don't want to help anybody. All right. We're not helping anybody. You give me the story.
We're not a superhero here.
No.
All right, time to cough in.
Oh, great. We're talking to her again.
Oh.
Hi, Spider-Man.
You know what? honestly, you know who this character kind of reminds me of in a negative way? The villain in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where like
Oh, that girl.
the show just kept kind of like it kept pushing this idea that there was this sympathetic angle to her, where it's like, well, you know, she feels like she has to do this, and then she'd do something that would cause like just absolutely unnecessary, like no logical. Even villain would do the things that she was doing, and it was just like the show wanted you to have sympathy for her and be like, yeah, she's the bad guy, but like you can get why. Whereas it just kind of, I don't know, it didn't quite work.
I never personally felt for her plot in the show. Like that was the only like the plot within the show.
That just did not work very well, and I
just never connected with it.
Yeah, I didn't either. And this Finn character kind of reminds me of.
Yeah, no, I
and Jameson's on her show now.
Yeah, to me that was like the biggest ball they dropped. Like post Endgame was like showing the consequences of Endgame,
right?
In a way where like globally, mankind would be kind of fucked and traumatized and shit in different ways. And like they tried to do it in little corners here and there, but they never really.
There are a few interesting moments, but yeah,
cohesively got that.
I mean, I think Far From Home is part of the reason that got like because that treated it as such a comedy.
Yeah.
Well, like I like the when you in WandaVision when you see the moments of like Monica coming back in the hospital and the chaos of everyone showing up at once and like that was, I think, that's probably the best moment of that.
Oh yeah, that is the only kind of time where I felt it.
Proving that Harlem isn't the failure Roxxon makes it out to be. And you, Mr. Jameson, for someone who claims to love New York, sure do seem to hate New Yorkers.
You are clearly emotional, young lady. The mercy rule on this debate. Jared, shut it down. And whose idea was it to debate on teenagers? There are no...
There are no what?
There are no good optics trying that.
He's got a point there.
Yeah, I do know. We do know that going into the second game, Jameson has returned to the Daily Planet, or the Daily Planet, to the Daily Bugle in the second one.
Okay.
Between games, so he's kind of resumed his job at the newspaper.
Okay.
Which is also would make him Mary Jane's boss.
I forgot that Mary Jane was more Lois Lane.
Yeah, they leaned into Peter being so focused on like science as his like professional career or like his normal day job that then they kind of moved to the reporter part or photographer part, whatever. Journalist stuff to Mary Jane instead.
Was she a photographer?
Journalist, reporter. She had a camera all the time. It kind of felt like because they wanted to still get the photographer part of Peter Parker into the story somehow, but because they wanted him to be so closely working with Otto and being so focused on the science part that they gave her that to kind of still include it in another way.
Gotcha.
What Krieger did to Rick? Roxxon needs to pay.
Krieger, man, I'm telling you. Ulysses is right. That's always the name of like either a Nazi or at least a douche in general.
Yeah.
I can't. I made a promise.
So did I. Why'd you pick here?
Dad brought us to that concert.
She's like, I'm sorry, you had a close friend die. I don't know. It's like,
was my favorite.
So did Miles.
No, I'm pretty sure it was Ghana.
Guinea, Belize, Poland, Cuba.
South Korea, Thailand, Venezuela. You're right.
I usually am.
It's not becoming.
That's a little braggy.
What?
That's a swanky rhino.
Yeah, he's got some Roxxon upgrades.
Oh, okay. be funny if it had like some Minotaur upgrades. He's like part Rhino.
I would love to see that. Got a defense against the bioelectricity. Hello, kitty cat. For attention, huh?
Gotta say, I'm disappointed, bud. Yeah.
My last name gave it away. All this.
I knew she was gonna be. You. I guess I was hoping that you and me would see eye to eye. Where are we? You're behind the curtain, bud. This is our most secure facility.
Smart to bring your enemy into your most secure facility, right?
You know.
You know, when her brother and I were developing new form,
All you did was put your name on the patent. He said the only thing you
Oh, right,
wanted
brother,
to
not
do
just
was
friend. I
sell
forgot
other
about that.
people's ideas.
Steve Jobs is the bad guy.
Steve Jobs is always the bad guy.
but let's not dwell, right?
Steve Jobs is Norman Osborn, right?
First thing we're gonna do.
Well, that's what they did with Oz.
Oh yeah, the first they did do that.
Otto was kind of the Steve Wozniak, and Norman was the Steve Jobs that kind of took all his shit. And...
Right.
Oh man, that's hot. Is it? I'm gonna
Is he
get
Paris Hilton all of a sudden?
and I'm gonna find out what makes you tick. Because you just
This guy also just is not a super strong villain either. He just feels a little bit like your average corporate douchebag. kind of service level. It smells like money.
okay. I'm gonna hit the gym. Leg day, can't skip it. Get her to tell us where my new form is. Yeah.
I mean, his performance is popping more in a way. Than,
It is. I just wish there was a little more to the character, you know? Again, it's just...
Sometimes when you're a villain, you play those villainous notes, you know?
No, I mean, yeah, totally. And, like, again, this is like a really fancy expansion, in a way, right? It's not a full sequel. It's, like, I get it. Like, they're not going to go crazy with the storytelling here like they might in the actual sequel.
Right.
And that's fine.
Yeah,
I think
it would take a lot more... That was good. I think it would take a lot more story to get into the nuance of the character, like that, if you wanted to get
right versus like a 4-hour campaign, basically.
They're gonna kill you. Holy shit!
Tougher than I look, huh?
So the scarf is supposed to be on him, just like in the actual story here.
Yeah, actually, yeah. If you do that mission, and then he just would be wearing that.
It's just kind of goofy looking during the.
I mean, you can switch it off if you want to, but do you want me to take it off?
No, I mean it makes me laugh the fact that it just has the scarf and shit when trying to do.
Scarf and a Santa hand. Well, not a Santa hand exactly,
I'm
but
shutting off security cams. Can you check that computer?
sure.
What did you find?
There's the exit. Through this office. We have to lift the base lockdown first, from the control room.
First, we need to escape the security wing. I'll go down to the floor, see what we're dealing with. Door's locked.
They don't work in the cell. Should work on the door. I can find whatever. Hello.
There you go.
It's unlocked. I'm headed to the floor.
Oh, cool.
Right above you.
Yeah, I really am. I'm curious to see how they evolve Miles' powers, because you know he's going to get some more stuff, right? I mean, in the next game.
Yeah.
With the swapping back and forth between them. Yep, we're going in loud every time this time. No stealth allowed. This isn't Metal Gear Solid, alright?
Yeah, with all his energy powers, he does seem like on another level compared to Peter. You know?
Yeah. Which, they had to make Peter, like, they had to do more with him to make him as fun again. Because I do think, like, if they didn't do the symbiote stuff, it would have been almost too easy for Miles to just be the more fun one to play as in the next game.
True.
Looks like some kind of record archive. Wonder what's on these computers.
I don't know, you could walk a little faster and get there.
Triggering the override. There's a voice memo on here.
Sir, the police are asking about Reiner. What do we tell them?
Our man at the raft is setting up a special work release program.
Just making them 10 times more dangerous. That's the work release program.
Can't believe they got away with this.
I mean, it's funny that they have this Krieger character have this personality when, you know, he could have just been Roxxon, you know, if he was
right,
that
yeah.
personality.
Yeah, I mean, it's glad considering that it is Roxxon that he's... yeah.
You know, it seems you could cut out the middleman there a little
right,
bit.
and just go straight to the, Like, yeah, how fun would it be to have had a Minotaur walking around in this game?
Yeah.
Spider-Man's the best leverage I got against Miss Mason. I mean, you caught them together. Well, I mean, you caught them, but it was thanks to your intel. So, clearly there's something going on there.
You agreed to leave the kid alone.
Uncle Aaron?
The kid. I love how you say that. It's just so paternal.
It's always actually very dismissive sounding when that's just referred to their son as the kid or whatever in fiction. But
like in God of War, when he just says boy over and over again.
Here's leverage for you. I've seen things.
How did they not notice that?
What you did to Rick Mason. If I went public.
Yeah, but you won't. Here's the deal. You're a wanted thief. Plus all the jobs we've done together. But you'd be in the cell right next to mine. And we both know you're a little too self-serving for that. So, we're gonna head in and check on Miss Mason and Spider-Man. But it's kind of an invite-only party. Bye.
yeah, I mean, this is basically how Jason Aaron wrote Roxxon when he was
right. Okay, so then
stuff. So
then they really should just throw that Minotaur in here.
Yeah.
Do you know that guy? Is that the reason we got captured?
No, it's... I knew he worked with Roxxon, but I didn't think he'd sell me out.
I can't believe this. You led me into a trap. Why do I keep listening to you?
Finn,
Well, it's clearly not his fault.
there
Right?
has to be an explanation. I didn't know this would happen.
Just save it. Let's keep moving. Can you get this open?
She's blaming him. It's not even his fault.
They initiated a lockdown. That's the control room we have to get into.
So we'll need past those security shutters.
Got a maintenance panel here, but it needs power.
Let me see what I can do.
There we go.
Gotta be attached to a generator.
Great.
There. We got power.
Oh, we gotta play a big claw machine.
Oh.
I can't hotwire the shutters.
That
but
is
I can
also
move
very
machinery,
video game.
Like that crane.
That's very video game.
I'll look around.
They build engines
Uh.
season here.
So we gotta get this thing over there somehow.
Hey, I can raise and lower that crane. Is that useful?
Like, no.
Hey, crane's over this engine thing now.
I've got an idea.
Alright, move it. What do you mean your idea? I had an idea. I moved it.
Think I know where
Take
you're
credit.
Now she's being Steve Jobs.
Okay, this laser should activate the engine.
I feel you, Steve Wozniak.
Laser sorted out.
Think I can reroute power.
What do you connect to?
Power source.
Those nodes can work if I can find power.
Yeah, which... Hi, kitty cat. You always want attention at the most inopportune times, I swear.
That is the nature of the
Glass
cat.
is in the way.
I can't connect that all the way over to where I need to connect it to.
Move the crane so my webs reach the laser.
Oh, shit, okay, I did not see that. Alright, we're good. Connect that up here.
Nice. Webs are conducting electricity.
Just like spider webs do.
Yes. Oh, but then how do I... Oh, but can I...
Gotta pull the crane back to where it started.
Ah, okay,
The
cool.
connection.
There we go.
You're good.
Alright, now it should be...
Use the laser.
One laser coming up.
One laser.
Perfect. If I overcharge the engine, it'll be explosive.
And explosive.
Ooh.
Just what we need to destroy those shutters.
Get down.
Let's go.
There we go. Oh, can I not? I don't know if I can zip up there. Alright.
I would say some of the dialogue isn't like as well written in this as
Why
it was
are
in the
you not-
first Spider-Man. Yeah.
There we go, okay. Yeah, I mean, again, I think part of that's
That's
just...
our way out. Give me a few minutes.
Just
to
the
get out.
odd line here and there, like where she was like,
Looks like they get some
explosive
plan.
is what we
Not
need to
hard.
destroy. It's like
Only
explosive
one
would
exit.
destroy anything. Because that's what the word means.
I'll take care of
It's
those
slightly more video gamey at times. I also think it's part of it's just because she's such a big character here, and I just don't think she's that interesting.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, having such a major part of it feel like a little flat.
I thought I'd miss having a brother,
I
but
guess I'll listen to her story here.
Like I get the angle. I just feel like she suffers from that that storytelling thing of like, if she would just fucking listen to what people are saying, like we could deal with a lot of these problems really easily.
Yeah.
those guys with the
Yeah,
lights
maybe
on
they
their
just
helmets
need more
can spot
time
heat
to
signatures.
kind of
They'll
develop
see
her
you if you try to go
dynamic
invisible.
or whatever with Miles,
I
but
wonder how much of their R&D department is dedicated to fighting us.
Probably millions of dollars in untaxed money. You clear the floor, I'll work on overriding security so we can get out.
because it's not like the first time in Spider-Man story where like this friend character with a deep past just kind of gets introduced like they did it in Amazing Spider-Man 2 where Harry just popped up.
That's
They're
true, it was
we
bad
were
there.
best friends or whatever.
Right.
And
Or even in the comics, and this is, I think, a good example, but the way they did Eddie in the
I was
Ultimate
literally
comics.
just going to bring that up. Yeah, in the Ultimate Spider-Man, I liked Eddie because they bring up and the story kind of tells you, like, oh, they were such great friends when they were kids, they're going to be great
You
friends
actually
now.
see those flashbacks a bit, too.
Yeah, you see him a little bit. But then to have the wrinkles that he's not this great guy, you know.
Right,
Eddie
right.
Brock has some shitty personality traits. Yeah, so when you just introduce a friend character as the, like, this best friend and nothing's changed after all these years or whatever, it's kind of just bland, you know?
I mean, there is, like, definitely, like, a different relationship they've had than what's in the past. Oh my god. That shield out of here, you little bitch.
Promise to listen. Really listen.
There you go.
I've made up my mind. You need to start accepting that.
See, yeah, she's just so unwilling to even, like, have a conversation, I don't know.
Right.
head to the assembly line.
Especially when he just keeps going out of his way. I guess that's the life of Spider-Man, though. I think it just could have been maybe a longer story, maybe would have been just to flesh her out just a little bit better.
Another way. What if we went public about Rick's death?
Do you have proof? Because I don't think the word of two vigilantes is gonna convince people.
There's gotta be a way. I think that's the exit. Hey. Lost and found.
Thanks.
Yeah, why give her that back? You know she's just going to cause more problems with it later.
Krieger has
Yeah.
a lab?
Mostly for show, but yeah.
I mean, he seems to have billions of dollars or whatever.
Wait.
It's also funny because the insane scientist in Archer's name is Krieger.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Toxicity reports, failed safety.
How can you read through that scarf, man?
Names on everything.
it's just like hanging right in his
the
eyeline.
Scarf has some of the worst of the game's physics. So.
Yeah. Yeah, just... like, it's just like, how are you even reading that? Oh, there we go.
Like my new color? Immune to your little zappy pops.
Zappy?
Zappy Pop.
Come on, man.
Even the characters like that writing, man.
I don't know, Rhino is an idiot. Seems like something he'd say.
Sounds like a bad popsicle.
Zappy Pops. It cuts your mouth.
That's your mouth. Can that be a tagline for popsicles in the future, like in a comic McCain runs the world?
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
It's like popsicles, they'll cut your mouth.
Popsicles, they'll kill your family.
Yeah.
Ah.
Damn.
Whoop. Knock that shit off him. Ah. Whoop.
Maybe if I charge the engines.
Yeah, it's definitely a better Rhino design than Bane's design in the Arkham game.
Although Bane did have the great design in Arkham Origins. But yeah, that was definitely singular and not the quality of his designs throughout the series for the most part. Ah.
That fancy armor's looking a little shabby, Rhino.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I do feel like even now, like, yeah, we've gotten these really good Spider-Man games. We got the the Batman quadrilogy, I guess. And we get some good comic book. I feel like that's such a underused world of properties for video games still. Like, I feel like we had a lot of cool ones back in the day, in the early 2000s, but
cool
like...
Hulk game, cool Wolverine game.
Yeah, well, and then after Spider-Man 2, this Insomniac's next game is a new Wolverine.
Right.
So that I think is going to probably be pretty awesome.
That's how I win this.
Okay, blast enough of his armor chunks off.
Yeah, in a way, you'd think there'd be more AAA superhero games.
Well, like, where's a modern Hulk game that like lives up to the Ultimate Destruction, right?
Make sure he doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, I
where is
guess
that?
it's just because I grew up with it and it doesn't seem that long ago. I still think of Ultimate Destruction as a modern Hulk game.
Oh, it's not, man. I've gone back and played it recently, and I mean, not to say it's bad.
Still hold up.
Somewhat. I mean, you don't know it's because you haven't played it in that how long, right?
Probably one of the last video games I played.
Is it really?
It's been a few years, but
Krieger updated the reactor.
like 20.
Tried to supercharge
not since I played it, but
If thing goes through with
Hi. Hi, Lo. I know you're very cute. Hi.
You want to die.
No, I mean the game. I mean, like I definitely wouldn't say it's bad to go back to now. Like I still find it fun. But if you don't have the nostalgia factor built in from playing it back then, and you tried playing it for the first time now, you would not like it. Probably anywhere close.
I don't know. I mean, like I played the Hulk movie tie-in video game too.
Well, that actually sucked.
But there's like even some light mechanics that are borrowed from geared way from that whole.
Oh no, it was actually the same studio.
Right,
that was
right.
like almost like a practice run, and then Ultimate Destruction was them like actually doing it well. The problem with that first movie tie-in one was that over half the game was spent playing as Bruce Banner and
Doing
frustrating
stealth
missions. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, like, I've played what is a mediocre Hulk game, and still have enough of an idea of the contrast between the two to know that Ultimate Destruction is a good Hulk game.
Yeah, no, I get it, but it's impossible to look at it without the nostalgia of having played it at the time.
Yeah, no, I mean that's true.
Like if I was to like bring someone who never played it back then, right? Who would be trying it for the first time now, they might be able to see and be like, oh wow, I appreciate kind of what this was doing at the time, but like without the nostalgia built in from actually experiencing it in the moment, it just would not be nearly as appealing.
¿Pero qué pasó? What are you wearing?
Dumbass scarf, mom. Glitchy ass scarf.
Glitchy ass scarf.
Finn's attacking the plaza.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've gone back and played that game, the Hulk game, and just in the last year. And like I said, I'm not saying it's bad now by any means, but it's aged.
I just think that
a lot of
some
really clunky controls and stuff that just. It came out in an era when we were still kind of figuring out what the best way to map control schemes in a game were, and we're still kind of experimenting with that. Like some of the first-person shooters from back then didn't use the triggers to shoot. Still, it's stuff like that. Graphics-wise, that's not really what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the controls and like the way that you engage, like the verbs you use engaging with the way the game world works.
Yeah.
Some of that's just it's aged. It doesn't make it bad, but it has aged.
You give me strength, Miles.
And
being able to kick cows was really cool.
yeah, that was fun. That was very fun. Oh, and you could there were tons of cheat codes in that game. You could turn the cows into missiles, or turn all the missiles into cows. Sometimes like helicopters would shoot missiles at you. It'd just be cows flying everywhere across the screen. It's still a great game,
Yeah,
but
I always liked
it
that
deserves because it's so good. It deserves the update of having a remake or a sequel that applies those mechanics and that kind of gameplay design to a modern, polished product.
Plus, I always liked that when Hulk spawned in that game, he seemed to like spawn in like a small Scottish village.
It was your hideout with Doc Samson.
Yeah, right. It just seemed like to me this quaint little Scottish village that only had cows inhabiting it, and that's.
If I remember right, the cows were not on that little island.
Out in the desert.
Yeah, they were only in the Badlands area, unless you used the cheat codes, because then there'd
Which
be
is
cows
weird
flying all over
because
the
there'd
city.
be more possibility of the cows being in that grassy village area than the cows. What their natural habitat is not the desert.
No, I don't know.
That doesn't make sense now that I'm thinking about it.
It doesn't really, but hey.
Thanks, man.
We are going to get a Wolverine game, but we should get a Hulk game.
Oh, yeah.
Like a Hulk game that lives up to that legacy, right? There is an Iron Man game in the works. It's the Dead Space team. That just did the Dead Space remake that's doing that.
Tracks down Finn. should check the app.
Yeah, I think
See if people need help.
there's so many heroes.
I'm not helping anybody. Stop asking me to help people.
Yeah, there's so many video games where, you know, you could center it around so many different superheroes. I mean,
Right.
All, you know, fucking Daredevil. I think you could make a cool Daredevil
Oh,
game.
yeah,
where the
yeah.
whole game is perceived the way Matt perceives the world. Like, you don't actually detail.
It's just a black screen.
Flesh out the world.
No, I'm kidding.
Well, it would just, the whole world would be seen through his radar sense.
Yeah,
Like,
no, I
that
do
would,
think
to me,
that'd be
that would be
very
the
cool.
whole game, how you put the spin of Daredevil on it.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Like maybe Daredevil himself is the one figure that kind of is there,
it's fully, yeah.
but for the viewer's sake more than, you know, anything. But yeah,
Right.
if you're going to do it third person, which I would do it third person, but
Yeah, because you got to tailor the style of game to the character, right?
Yeah.
So, I think I'm trying to think of a comic book character that I would want to play in a first-person perspective, just because so much.
Punisher, if it was going to be
Punisher
a
could
brutal
work.
first person.
But then, to be honest, though, that one really good Punisher game is third-person, kind of more
I'm not
Max
saying
Payne
third
style.
person doesn't work for, but I'm just saying, like, if
Of the ones that would make sense to
if
do
you
first-person.
have to graft a first-person style onto it, I think Punisher could work.
Yeah, Punisher would, not that you'd make a whole Deadshot game, because that'd be kind of weird, but, for some reason, if you played as Deadshot,
Yeah.
FPS would make sense for that. Final stop, one crime in progress.
Yeah, I can't think of many superheroes where I prefer a first-person shooter.
Yeah, it just doesn't fit with the person, because so much of it's the personality of it, and you really want to kind of get that, I don't know, as much as you possibly can. Did you call backup? Well, watch what happens to your backup. Yeah, I mean, that Punisher game is another good example, though. That deserves either a sequel or a remake or something, because that was also a fantastic fucking game that has, again, aged in a way that doesn't make it bad, but it's definitely aged in a way that makes it a bit clunky. Plus, this is actually a big thing that a big pet peeve of mine with the games industry is just there is a serious lack of game preservation. In the industry,
Sure.
Only, I think it's something like only 30% of all video games that have ever been made are currently commercially available.
That is where, yeah.
Right?
I always
Like
thought
anything
Nintendo
pre-2011.
and Sony were going to do a better job of digitally archiving their
To be
games.
honest, I think Xbox might actually have the best.
one.
Yeah, because and it's not everything, but a good chunk of the 360 and original Xbox game libraries are backwards compatible at the very least. So you can buy digital versions of KOTOR on the Xbox store and play it on your new Xbox. At least a few games, at least a few older games like that. PlayStation's started to get it a little bit better lately, and Nintendo does have stuff.
Yeah,
but
I hate that. I feel
But
like
it's part of their free online membership thing, and it's not you can't just buy the games the way that.
I wish in some way Nintendo would have just kind of had the same store since the Wii, but just been updating it and making it
That would be nice.
available
The
in different
problem,
ways than
the problem with them doing that is that they, and this is something that for the PlayStation has only been solved with the PS4, and that now going forward, it's not an issue with the 4 or the 5. But Nintendo also does this where they build such specific weird kind of computer hardware for their consoles that when they start making a new system and they start building a hardware system completely from scratch, it's so different that they have to recode everything from the beginning again. So they can't keep the same thing running across different systems, which is it's a thing that the PlayStation fixed starting with the PS4, because they just decided, let's just use a PC architecture and just make it better every new system from now on, instead of
Yeah.
making this weird, unique thing. Like the PlayStation 1, 2, and 3, especially 3, all have weird-ass fucking hardware-specific things that make it really hard sometimes to carry games over forward, right? Nintendo has the same problem.
So I guess Nintendo's consoles are too unique each time.
That's part of the issue. Yeah, they did again more recently. It's been less of an issue. Like the 3DS, I think store and the Switch store are the same. So like they've started to get better about it. But
is it Michael Jai White doing the voice of?
Let's find out. I actually genuinely don't know.
Just that last line he said, I was like, that kind of sounded like Michael Jai White.
Let's see. I do like Michael Jai White. He's pretty fucking cool.
I still think he was alright as Spawn, you know.
What? Just hide down here?
As a casting choice, yeah.
Yeah. I don't, you know, there are a lot of people that think Spawn is like one of the worst comic book movies ever made, and I don't think it's one of the, especially because there are so many.
I mean, there are some bad ones. It would be. I don't know where I don't know where I'd rank it, but it would be closer to the bottom.
Well,
I'll tell you
it's
that.
just more middling, but I'd still rather watch like the Spawn movie than like the Black Widow movie. Again, I'd watch.
Oh yeah, no, I agree with that. Yeah,
watch it more.
But it would still be pretty low if I was like looking at all the comic book movies ever.
And that's definitely a situation where those nostalgia glasses you're talking about, because I was able to appreciate the Spawn movie at one time in the context of the 90s, it's easy for me to still see it that way.
Sure.
Because it's very 90s rock, you know.
But then I also feel like...
But Spawn is very
around
90s rock kind
well,
of
that's very true. But I also feel like, you know, around the same time as I would have seen that movie for the first time as a kid, there was also the HBO cartoon, which
was much better, yeah.
Right, so I still, even then, had like a better kind of executed version to compare it to.
There is.
At the time.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I'm the only one trying to save you.
And I'm trying to save everyone else.
Who is... I just want to get the voice actors.
I found out who the girl was last night.
Is no, portrayed by Ike Amati. Oh, I've never heard that name before. So.
He's just got a very Michael Jai White sounding voice.
Fuck out of here. Oh, I just got the text from Ulysses that he's on his way over. And we're getting pretty close to the end of this, too, so good timing. I'm kicking your ass, bro. Like, what are we fucking talking about?
It's like, yeah, like, I think John Leguizamo was actually good as the Violator, I thought.
I was gonna say, you better not say Luigi.
No. No, but just for, like, being a somewhat underrated actor, that's a role that kind of shows, you know, some more range from him early on back then.
I'll be honest, I probably would need to see it again to really...
I mean, you'd want to, like, lower your expectations going to watching it, but, you know, going into it, but...
Sure.
Because, yeah, and then there's going to be just some sheer awful, because I can just picture them now and how bad they are, the CGI then for Hell and stuff, like, it's really bad. But
where was it? Martin on Double Toasted wrote that article that Hell had never looked... I think the title of the article is Hell has never looked so beautiful. That he wrote. But he also had a fever when he watched it, right? So
but I can't be the person you want to turn me into. I can't turn my back when people need me. I had to be better than that. Genki! My uncle just kidnapped me! Locked me up!
You are seriously the most... Just you wait until the inopportune moments. I've got this. I've got a controller in my hands.
I like that she doesn't do it to me.
I'm sorry.
When I'm in, I'm not playing.
Oh, now she is.
It's what I had
But
to
She's
I mean,
rubbing up on you a little bit.
putting her head in my face.
Oh,
well.
yeah. I feel like she has done it to you, but only when you were holding the controller, instead of just doing it in general.
It's because you're not paying attention to her.
Yeah, there we go. Last chance to upgrade gear and abilities. So, yeah, we are entering the end, the whole thing now.
And the underground moves right in. Finn's gotta be inside.
This looks like a little modern arty.
And it's just cool to me, you know, I don't know why I'm still on Spawn, but like, it is cool to me in that movie how they made a cool looking practical Spawn suit. You know, you'd think when they were like,
Sure.
for how much they were overusing CGI in that movie,
You'd think they would have done
the
that
suit might have
too.
been CGI, but no, they just made it look cool, you know, on screen, you know, in camera. So I always appreciated that.
Not sure what just happened there, but okay.
And especially in a time of comic book movies where they were not going deep into the lore of anything. I mean, a cool Spawn first movie is gonna throw a lot of lore at you.
Right, that's true.
They didn't even really try to do that so much in that one movie. They just tried to make it a condensed, him taking on Martin Sheen, you know, kind of tale.
God, I didn't even remember that Martin Sheen was in that.
Yeah, I think his kids liked Spawn or thought Spawn looked cool, so they wanted him
And then
to
they
be in
didn't after he did that movie.
it. Yeah, they were probably like, yeah, Dad, why'd you do that? And he's like, you told me to.
Well, like, was it after Bob Hoskins was in Mario, right? His kid asked him, like, why did you do that movie? and Bob Hoskins was like, I did it because you needed shoes. And his kid responded to him, like, I didn't need shoes that bad, Dad.
That's hilarious. That's like Michael Caine's line about Jaws the Revenge.
They had a generator. I need to drain the generators. In those shacks. Which are locked.
So was it Craig Ferguson that asked him that? Somebody interviewed him and asked him, like, so have you seen Jaws 4? And he's like, I've not seen Jaws 4, but I've seen the house it bought me, or whatever.
Wait, really? That doesn't reach? Oh, okay. It just barely doesn't clip through the environment, I guess.
Is this some kind of, like, future world city?
That's kind of what it's an Oscorp Science Center, like an old abandoned one. So it kind of does have that, like future world science
City
kind of thing.
Tomorrow,
Yeah.
That's one. Feeling good.
Okay.
Did you ever see that George Clooney movie, Tomorrow World, or whatever?
No, I heard it was fucking creepy.
Fucking what?
I heard it was super creepy.
Creepy. I just remember it being super boring when I watched it.
Oh. The main thing I've heard about that, I always hear about that movie, is that he's like hitting on like a 17-year-old the whole time at like age 50.
I don't know. I thought I thought I remember her being his daughter, or just being some.
Well, that would make it even worse.
No, but just like some father-daughter dynamic relationship. I don't remember him hitting on her, but I also don't remember much from the movie at all because it's kind of sucked.
Because it just sucked. That's the only thing I really feel like I know about it, is that it's got a real weird, age inappropriate,
It was just so weird to me that was like Brad Bird's passion project.
Yeah, that is extremely fucking weird.
or like that was his live action. Was that his live action debut? It was either that or the Mission Impossible movie.
Yeah, I guess I don't know which one was first.
His Mission Impossible was good, but I also think every subsequent Mission Impossible has been better.
Sure.
To be honest, too.
Right.
Oh, sweet. Time to break the underground's toys.
All right. Blow our way through that floor.
Yeah, the future of science is scary.
Finn?
This was like a science fair museum at some point.
Mm.
Finn? Come on. We need to finish this. You and me.
You have to finish it.
Gotta be
Finn the
with our
human
project.
and Jake the dog.
I mean, see, Finn is the human name in that scenario.
It's dumb, but at least it was spelled better. Blue home.
Is that what that
I
said?
thought I said blue home. Can you see the blue home board? Oh, damn.
Hopefully we'll get an opportunity to look at it. Oh yeah, here's your flashback.
My ass is a molest.
Is that? Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, go look at that one.
Yeah.
Go back.
Hey, where'd they put us?
I've got the museum map on my phone. Our project.
Blue
It does just say Blue Home.
home.
The ocean community.
You blue little liar.
You big blue liar. Oh my god, we're back to big blue liars
Oh yeah, I
again.
can't wait. Oh, the fuck, Alex isn't gonna be here.
Nah, that's
Damn.
okay though.
I'd love to throw that in his face.
What do you mean throw it in his face? What are you calling him a big blue liar?
Yeah, that's some of it.
I guess there's a lot of things we can stop and look at in here. I will,
Did one of those signs say
Special
purple home?
exhibits upstairs.
purple home.
We've got time to look around first. The restaurant.
No, we're not looking around first.
I
Somewhere.
can see why people would have thought Osborn was cool in this world if this was the kind of
Yeah?
shit you got to see. Oh,
No, honestly, I could totally see. Oh, and like this is supposed to be the stuff that she's making all of her weapons out of now.
oh, I see. So wait, so she just stole shit?
Some, yeah. Some of it maybe made it better.
That was like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man when he was looking up all those YouTube videos on how to do shit.
But it looks kind of.
You gotta, all your do-it-yourself things, DIY.
But it's not really doing it yourself. It's watching how somebody else does it and then not figuring it out. On
I mean,
your
you
own.
can't learn from nothing.
I can't.
No, you can't.
Yeah, I
No,
made
you can't.
this cat.
What? what did you just say? You learned cat?
Parking
Yeah.
was on display. Didn't think we needed tickets.
I made it.
You do, and we're sold
Blue
out.
home.
Can't let you go.
What?
I made home.
How many edibles have you had already today?
Only 5.
You had 5 edibles?
So we need
But
another
only-
way in.
She said there's no more tickets.
Well, you should take 5.
Okay.
Hallway behind it.
Are these suits of medieval armor?
Locked.
And
Or
the
is that what
poster on the
people-
wall,
Or is that what people who'd have to live in Blue Home would wear?
I think that's what they'd have to wear that if they went to Blue
Those
Home.
blue homies.
They will if we find a way to slide something reflective under the door.
Sage, could the people that live in Blue Home be called Blue Homies?
Blue
Nice to
Homies.
find something
Yeah.
mutable.
Beautiful. You mean change his shape?
Damn, you just knocked that one chick out of the way. Like, it's pretty
We can't
rude.
just, punch out the NPC and, we're a good guy.
Well, you did the second worst
Shave
thing to
memory
her.
alloy.
What was the second? What did I do?
You just fucking.
No, I didn't. What? You're just telling me that's what I did.
It's crazy. Think it's a meta material?
Is it?
Must be. Wonder if it's using a phononic band cap.
That's it. Take it. Don't let anyone see.
How are you gonna do that without no one noticing?
Right.
Whoa, man. Sorry. All good?
It's Peter and Otto.
Something reflective. Look how the external tools interface directly
Can
with
you
the
push
command module
auto?
computer. I could recreate the idea, but
Shove everybody out.
Kind of save the future a little bit.
If only it was that simple.
Over the entire mesh.
Oh, and then this is where they're getting ideas for how to build his tentacles, too.
Think you can handle it?
With enough time and a lot of coffee? Absolutely.
I'll supply the coffee.
Well done, Peter. I couldn't do this without you.
That's cool.
It's a nice little tie-in.
Yeah, I definitely prefer Peter and Octavius having been kind of compatriots of sorts before.
Yeah, I feel like
the classic version where he didn't know Peter at all and was just kind of a douchebag.
Yeah, he's just a guy robbing. Oh, okay, we need one more thing. One of these. Yeah, there you go.
Solar mirrors.
Like, I like that not every villain has some personal connection to the hero.
Yeah, they don't always have to,
but in the case of some villains, it just works better.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to have, like, you could have a bunch of villains that don't have to have that, but then, you know, you get a couple big ones that do, and it makes those really, really important ones just land to home a little bit better.
Yeah, and then when the personal dynamics of those villains with the hero conflict with the villains that don't know the hero at all or owe them shit in any way, you know, it's always interesting.
Yeah.
Try again.
There we go.
That worked. We did it. Come on.
And you could spend a lot of time looking around this museum too, before continuing with the story.
Those blue homie suits.
Honestly, they kind of look like the underwater suits on the water planet in the first KOTOR game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they look a lot like the underwater suits you have to get in.
I'm not gonna vanish off the planet. We'll still hang out.
Oh, he lied about hanging out.
Yeah.
That son of a bitch, just because he didn't hang out with you.
I mean, it's what makes you evil, man.
That's what makes you.
It's getting mushy. Come on. Let's head upstairs.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, Miles.
Hi, Mr. Davis.
Finn says hi.
You kids having fun? Make sure you get a picture of your project.
Dad.
Her name's still Finn?
What do you mean still? Why are you surprised by that?
That would be one of my questions as the dad on the phone. I was like, her name's still Finn.
This is it.
God damn it.
Think they got a converter all hooked up?
Otherwise, what's
Face down the street.
They'll need to feed biomass in, though. Maybe hook it up to it.
Well, and then this also feels like more setup for the symbiote.
Oh,
in 2, right? Oscorp having a space program and.
So Blue Home tying into Hydro Man or whatever?
I don't think so.
Like the two apexes of Spider-Man villains, Hydro Man and Venom.
Is that your dream job?
I don't know.
They're both like the best you can go in either.
Hydro Man?
Bottom of the ocean, get Hydro Man, go space, and get Venom.
Okay. Is that how that works?
Spider-Man's best villains.
Hydro Man. Hydro Man is one of Spider-Man's best villains, huh?
Yeah, I mean, they're the ones people always are chanting for in this street.
Hydro Man?
Yeah. Remember they go to a
You're a big blue liar.
When they go to a public fountain, they're like, oh man, I wish
Hydro Man was here to drown me? Like, what are you...
Or, you know, just let you be the villain in this next Tom Holland movie. Or, how about this? The next Andrew Garfield movie.
Oh, well, that fits. Yeah. That actually fits. Yeah.
Andrew Garfield's like, so what do I get in my next movie? They're like
Hydro Man. Technically, they did Hydro Man already in the MCU.
Oh, yeah.
The fake water elemental that Mysterio had.
Is that as cool as Hydro Man, though?
Hydro Man's not cool.
You need to know.
I'm done listening to you.
He fused with Sandman and turned to Mudman at one point.
Did he?
I think so.
Didn't that just kill Sandman? Or just... Isn't that just how you incapacitate him? Oh, there's a new heavy enemy type, too. Get out of here. Shield.
Those are some cool purple hammers there.
They are cool purple hammers.
They don't belong in Blue Home.
No, they should go back to their purple home.
Get that shit out of here. Their purple home, yeah. Yeah, I'll have to say that's the dumbest thing I've seen in the game is Blue Home.
Blue home.
It was the name Finn and then Blue Home were the only two dumb things I thought of. So. And otherwise,
it's been I think it's I complained a little bit about some of the story,
some of the dialogue is.
It's not the greatest, but yeah. Like I said, I mean, it's also not like awful either. It's just a little because the first game's dialogue is so well written.
Yeah.
I
think they spent a lot more time writing that
script overall. Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is an in-between spin-off game, right? It's not Spider-Man 2. It's a Spider-Man 1.5.
Like Lion King. Or whatever.
Yeah, I never saw any of those.
I never quite understood that numbering system.
Yeah, was it Lion King 2.5? What was another one?
2.5 Lion Kings.
Yeah, something like that then.
Then they could have gone John Cryer in it. You know,
please God, no.
To voice the half lion.
Please no
like
more.
Tyrion, the half lion.
The half lion.
Yeah.
Shocked that wasn't a nickname.
Well, they call him the half man.
Right, but half lion, do the Lannister lion thing. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
but they could
plenty of things.
Lion King 2.5.
Sure.
Like wouldn't that be awesome if in the live action Lion King movies they did another one, but it went from Lion King.
It would not be awesome if they did another. Oh, just skip ahead to the title. No, I mean they've said they want to make an entire cinematic universe just out of Lion King sequels.
Yeah, Scar is going to get a movie, right?
I think so. I'm really not liking that. Yeah, I guess every character in The Lion King is going to get a fucking spin-off.
Wait, did I say Mustafa? Mufasa?
Oh, just... I didn't even catch that, to be honest.
He's not like an Arab assassin kind of backstory.
That sounds more interesting than what it would probably actually be.
Cool enough. Yeah, I think so.
How's the evacuation going?
So... the new form reactor, right, is gonna fucking just blow up all of Harlem, and she won't listen to the fact that we're telling her that, and she's gonna just fucking do it anyway. Because she's just like, I don't need to listen to anybody.
Yeah. Did you hear me? I'm on my way. Hang tight, man. Please.
I mean, alright, hypothetically, if you were gonna do more Lion King movies, what would you do? Because I already have like a pitch in my head a little bit of like...
I would not do them.
No, okay, and I don't even mean live action, but if you're gonna do like a legit another Lion King sequel that furthers the story in any kind of way.
I said, what is there further?
Well, okay, I'm just saying, if you have to do it...
I'm telling you, I have no ideas for this.
Creative. This is just a creative exercise for me. Like, if you have to come up with another story, I would go that, well, there's the whole rest of the continent of Africa that these animals, his kingdom is just renewed, There's gonna be, if he's got a kingdom, then other animals have kingdoms. So
you're thinking like we'll do it like the Avatar sequels, where one's a fire lion king, one's a water lion. Lion king,
I would pick different animals to have different
in different environments. Or whatever. So it's
yeah, but I'm just saying like it's instead of sticking to this region and just telling Mufasa's backstory in this region and fucking it is visually gonna get pretty boring, I'd imagine, definitely by the third of these movies.
Yeah. I mean, I was bored by the first Avatar.
I thought you were yourself. I meant Lion King.
Yeah, I didn't know. I never even saw it.
No, I haven't seen the live action one either, but I'm just saying visually, like, if they did a third one of those, I have to imagine it would start to have felt pretty repetitive and boring.
Well, I think they made like 4 or 5 of those movies, I'm pretty sure, for like the straight to DVD. Lion King. For like the straight to DVD sequels and stuff. And I think it did. I think it did get pretty repetitive and not interesting.
Almost like yeah, I guess they already have some kind of lore to go on.
The Lion King lore.
There are nerds that specialize in that.
Are there?
Yeah.
Lion King historians?
The Disney animated straight DVD sequels, that's a scholar.
Is it?
There are scholars.
That sounds like people have wasted their lives to me.
I would not be surprised if that's a college course offered at
God.
a private university. I would not be surprised.
I gotta guess I wouldn't
bullshit
either.
elective. And I'm not saying bullshit electives aren't fun, but it's like...
But they are bullshit.
You can't fill your degree with nothing but those, I feel like, in actual college.
Well, you might as well just not go to college then.
Yeah.
Would like me.
You can watch the straight to home Disney animated...
Yeah, you watch them in your blue home.
Yeah.
You watch them in blue home.
And blue...
Near 125th. Looking for my mom.
Word is new Spider-Man's on the case. He'll protect them. You protect yourself, okay? Get out of there.
Okay. Yeah, I'll leave it to him. Stay safe, Gloria.
However, I like some of the sequel lore with, like, the Aladdin ones, where Aladdin, like, or Jafar became a big evil red genie and whatever. And
I never saw any of those sequels. I don't think I watched any of
saw one
the
of them.
direct-to-DVD sequels to anything, honestly.
I didn't see many of them either.
Do you know about Mulan, too?
Yes,
Where they just do the opposite plot, and the whole movie's about her learning how to shut her mouth and be a housewife.
Oh, jeez.
I'm not kidding, that's the plot of that movie. That's actually the plot of Mulan 2.
It's those traditional values that Disney has, you know.
It's just like, I mean, it literally could not be the more opposite of that first movie.
Yeah. No, that's kind of low-key, ironically hilarious. I mean, I would...
Oh, I didn't know it is. The irony of it is quite funny. It's like who made that decision? Like, who was like, yeah, no, this is definitely, we gotta put Mulan at her place.
China, maybe.
No, Disney wasn't making things for China when that happened.
Yeah, but China might have written Disney a letter back then. And like, could you do a sequel to Mulan that's a little more in, vogue of our values,
I mean, I genuinely, that was genuinely before we had the Hollywood caters to China kind of thing happening in the market. I mean, maybe they complained.
Yeah, I mean,
they didn't
Mulan,
like the first
Mulan was a very inspired choice to make an animated film out of for Disney at the time. I will give that to them.
Yeah, oh yeah,
that's
and China hated it.
What's that?
China hated it too.
Oh, that is right.
I think the thing they really mostly didn't like
of Mulan to some degree.
I think it's fairly.
It is more of a.
No, it is the thing that I think bothered that people didn't like in China. That'll like a lot of people in China.
Wasn't a phoenix. Or whatever.
No. It wasn't that it was like it wasn't that it was a dragon. It was that the dragon was goofy when dragons are supposed to be these like wise, like respect-based beings that are all
they
about
probably didn't like that he was
elegance.
voiced by Eddie Murphy.
No, they didn't like that. That was the big sticking point. Was that the dragon was like comic relief.
And granted, like if it was Eddie Murphy post Norbit, like I would be
right up there with him. Yeah.
As well, but
well, I mean, yeah, Norbit, Daddy Daycare. I mean, he really just did a lot of garbage for a while there.
Yeah. It would be cool if Eddie Murphy came back and did some bigger comedies.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'd love to see it.
But like all he's really done is that SNL hosting, right?
Yeah, he's done some. Well, I guess I don't know how recent now, but he had come back to doing
he had a couple
stand-up.
There was a drama called Mr. Church, I remember, and
for movies,
for just a little bit, he focused on drama more, and then kind of retired for his family's sake.
Well, he was doing, but he came back to doing like stand-up for a little while.
Or was he still doing it?
Around the time that SNL, him hosting SNL happened, he had been doing some stand-up again. And I remember thinking that was good.
Oh, stand-up was good.
Yeah, I remember thinking that was funny.
Because it would be interesting. You wouldn't know if he'd have it still, like, at least the commentary side of things, just because, like, he left Hollywood, right, to just raise his family for many years.
I think so, yeah.
And you think kind of having to become a homebody for a long time.
Sure.
I would definitely lose a sense. I already feel like I've lost a sense of what the
what's
fucking
happening
going
in the
on.
world.
Sometimes in modern times, sometimes,
Sure.
yeah.
To be honest, that's kind of nice, though, right? Just to not. Really
Oh, I like disassociating from it. I'm just saying.
I feel I am too. I can't not know. I can't not know everything happening.
It just
I'm always
annoys
compelled
me,
to just
like,
know everything. Like if I don't know
60%
something,
of the time.
yeah, I'm the opposite. If I don't know something, I feel like a compulsion.
Really, find
to
some of the TikTok shit or what?
Well, I understand it. I understand that it's stupid, and I don't need to know more. So I do understand it. Yeah.
And all the garbage reality television Alex objects you to.
Well, that I would leave out, but Alex, then Alex shows up and he brings it with him, so I know. So
He brings garbage.
well, you know about
Yeah.
MILF Manor, right?
MILF Manor.
Yeah. Oh, would you mind
Oh, yeah, just
grabbing Euless or letting him in?
Oh, it was already a lot. I didn't have to do anything.
Just on the final boss fight here before we end the stream.
And watch that flash ass.
Yeah. Watch him flash that ass.
Damn. Can't wait to get flash. No, I actually could, but it'll be fun. I ran the numbers on Greek.
Yeah, that character you said like has the Nazi name.
Oh yeah.
She's God, yeah. That's the thing that annoys me about this character. She's just so unnecessarily stubborn.
I mean, there are people like that, right?
Yeah,
I
they
don't
piss me
usually
off.
like them.
Want to fight? We'll talk.
Which is ironic because sometimes I'm one of those people.
Well, you're that person all the time.
Shut up. You belong in Blue Home.
All right, well, you're a big blue liar. How do you like that?
Son of a blue bitch.
The blue balls over there?
Oh, yeah.
Soon we won't be able to stop it.
I'm Captain Blue Balls.
Captain Blue Balls?
You're Captain Blue Balls? Is that a
Could we
point?
have the name of a pirate in our...
Captain Blue. I'm Captain Blue Balls.
How do you get that name? Is it not fuck, or is he dying his balls blue? Or maybe it's both.
Just nobody will fuck. Yeah, he died.
Well, I think you should regularly almost fuck,
He should
right?
sometimes teabag people. Maybe go blue. Oh my god! Like, you've been blue bagged.
You've been blue bagged.
Yarr, takes these blueberries.
I like this pirate. Cause,
Yeah, that's pretty good.
yeah.
Should be like a fantasy or like evil.
Oh, yeah. Well, I remember we had a couple like evil pirates even on the superhero Earth. I feel like we had some kind of ridiculous pirate character, but I have to go back through my notes to remember it. But what kind of insurance?
He's like, you know how good we would look if we were the victims of a terrorist attack? That's actually a pretty good line, yeah.
Not like this. Did you feel that? We have
Did you feel this?
You can't win! Why do you keep fighting?
Like, that's very generic dialogue, I feel like.
I mean, it is typical, but it's like, I guess the most anything really eventful has been happening in their little dynamic.
Yeah.
They've just been talking so far about a bunch of shit I didn't care about, and then... So at least there being some dramatic conflict, I'm slightly more compelled by, I guess.
Sure.
need to. God, those. I know you feel those shockwaves. Help me.
Nice ball trade session, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, they're in this like World's Fair Expo place.
Oh, we left that.
What's that?
We're at the Roxxon headquarters now.
Oh, okay. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
But at first we were at this like World's Fair thing, and we were walking by all these like posters of like promises of the future that Norman Osborn was making, like underwater homes or
I
whatever.
thought you were going to say underwater hose.
Right. And then on the poster right next to it, It just said the dumbest thing in this game so far. It just said blue home.
Yeah, the poster literally, that's all it was.
Like, that was Norman Osborn's sales pitch. She was investors. He's like,
Blue home.
Well, hey, now we know where Blue Balls was.
yeah, that's why we were saying blue so much when we got it. But but out of that came something really profound.
Profound, huh?
Yeah, we're starting you, jackass.
You haven't been listening this entire goddamn time.
Why was she throwing like big records at you for a minute?
Like spiked wheels.
I like the record.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, that is the thing in Bomber Cyberpunk. The character gets his head decapitated by a vinyl record in the first 20 minutes of the game.
Yeah. This is dangerous vinyl.
Oh no, not the red thing.
Not the red thing.
Purple hole, blue hole, gold jacket, green jacket, who gives a shit?
Now you're realizing you're fucking up.
Is everything becoming blue?
Yeah,
home?
yeah, we're turning it into Blue Home.
Yeah, that's Cyberanus just prolapsed.
Fucking Cyberanus.
Always prolapsing all over the place.
Prolapsing. That should be one Ken's ABP. Always be prolapsing.
Always be prolapsing. That's amazing.
Always be prolapsing. There's that whole Alec Baldwin speech, but just fucking ABP.
From Glengarry Glen Ross, but he's just talking about prolapsing anuses.
Yeah.
And all those people in the city are gonna die. Make sure to save the person responsible.
They're gonna say, make sure to save the person that's
With like a now she apologizes. It's like, oh, I should have listened.
Just late for that. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally going to vaporize all of Harlem at once if they can't stop it.
Yeah.
oh shit! All those people I tried to vaporize are about to get vaporized.
She was like,
I didn't know that would happen.
I didn't count on this. Who knew that thing would be dangerous? So, is this like radiation coming off of this thing, or?
You'd think it would leave some sort of impact right on the environment.
Is it like heat and something that is kind of?
It is kind of vague sci-fi renewable energy source. They don't really. However, I do think all of this energy Miles is absorbing over the course of this game is going to affect the growth of his power, give him more powers in the next one.
So this is like if a nuclear meltdown was like green and blue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Blue or blue.
Yeah. I feel like Miles should at least put his mask back on.
Maybe he doesn't even have it anymore. Who knows? It might
Still
have just
got
gotten
the
blown
dumbass
off.
scarf,
You just
though.
wrap the fucking scarf around your neck.
This scarf has had the worst physics in the game by far.
Where'd you guys even get that stuff?
It's just a silly alternate costume that you can wear.
But I thought you said that, like, within
Yeah,
the
you
story
get
of the
it.
game,
You
they-
get it from her, and then
So
you
you
can.
would be wearing this scarf,
I mean, in theory, I suppose. Yeah.
which makes it kind of stupid.
Yeah, scarves. There's a reason most superhero costumes don't include a scarf.
That's true.
A choke in the kitchen sink, like in Orphan Black.
What?
Remember in Orphan Black when she gets a scarf caught in the kitchen sink in the garbage disposal?
For some reason, I thought you said choking the chicken and the garbage. Like, what?
No, yeah, in Orphan Black, remember there's the one character that dies because her scarf gets caught in the garbage disposal and she
Oh,
just
that's
gets
funny.
choked out by it.
It's like Edna Mode said about capes or whatever.
Yeah, no scarves.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, basically gonna try to absorb like an entire nuclear explosion.
There was a part where he was trying to read a computer upside down, and his scarf was clearly in front of his face, blocking his view entirely.
That's amazing. So now he's gonna pull his Godzilla and like.
It was very convenient. All that glass didn't go flying into his mouth.
But he keeps the mask on.
Yeah. Yes. The superhero costume idea is sometimes about protection just as much as it is
About style.
skies or
Yeah.
So,
these assholes?
Who are these?
One of them is his mom.
What are they doing here?
Who's this asshole?
Right, you'd think they are supposed to be evacuating.
Her name's still
They're
Finn?
doing the opposite of evacuating.
They're getting
Quick,
closer, I know.
run to ground zero,
Yeah.
you'll be safe
No.
there.
Is she going into space?
Yeah. She's gonna like
What did
reverse
she
time like Superman.
Yeah.
There's still going to be an explosion. It's just
She's
going
like,
to come
don't worry,
from
Miles, I'm
him.
going to throw you into the sun.
He is dying just like Godzilla.
Well, he's going to
she
survive.
actually dies?
Yeah, she dies.
Oh, well, that's
So he
kind of
actually
dramatic.
kills her,
Miles
yeah.
kind of killed this person.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was all his fault.
Well, it's all her fault.
Yeah, she did do a lot of
So
stupid
you're saying
shit,
that she had an assisted suicide?
Kinda.
Yeah. Yeah, that's... Okay, I mean, that's...
I like the conclusion.
That's the most compelling thing they've done with her is kill her. Which doesn't say a lot of great things about her character, but
you know, I guess at least there is that one thing.
Yeah.
At least she's dead.
That's the most positive thing you can say about
His
her.
dad
At
comes
least
over
she's
and
dead.
he's like, her name's still Finn.
We're safe.
Yeah, Michael really does not like that
I
name.
don't like
Is
that.
when this game ends, is it going to do like the classic like film ending thing where they have Finn, but it's going to be spelled like her name?
That'd be great, dude.
Oh, great. Now there's a sky anus.
This guy ain't it. This is prolapsing.
Oh, there it
Anus
is.
should stay on the ground.
We should have our superheroes describe that as any sky event going on. It's like, oh, that energy portal is prolapsing right now. Or whatever color it is. That red anus is prolapsing.
That sounds like a great chapter title. The Red Anus.
I still like when he said they were Aunt May and Madam Web were scissoring each other through time. Like,
They scissored apart the fabric
they
of
scissored
reality.
space and time, yeah.
I mean, that would be a pretty good story.
They're scissoring. It's next level.
Yeah.
Take care of them.
Did you see his face?
You did good, Spider-Man.
Thanks.
I like how like the city almost exploded and the fucking journalist, like the first thing that she's asking is like, "Do you see Spider-Man's face?"
Yeah, right.
It's like, bitch, people die.
That's kind of cool too. The idea of like our Spider-Man.
And he wanted, yeah, it's like he's like,
Or, like
well, like yeah, like really, like particularly like the Spider-Man of Harlem, and like there being
Yeah.
a really particular localized group of people that
I feel like that does a better job of individualizing Miles too
than the comics.
in that
Yeah, both the movies and these games have done a better job at fully actualizing Miles as a character than the comics ever did.
Does that mean that every neighborhood has a friendly local Spider-Man?
Aaron Davis, aka
I mean, if it's anything like Batman Incorporated when he started like
Franchising.
franchising other countries, he did do that.
How when you said franchise?
And they put him up on the mural
Yeah.
by the end of the
It was
game.
messed up though when he gave the entire continent of Africa to one guy to protect.
Yeah, that's
There's
a lot of.
one bad-
Yeah, it's like here you have to deal with this entire space. Other people get like one city.
Yeah,
You have to deal with the whole continent.
When you said franchises, I just picture like a 7-Eleven run by a dude in a Batman suit.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. Well, there was that like
That
fast
Bat
food
Burger
joint.
place,
Yeah, that
Bat.
Batman burger. Yeah,
Batburger.
yeah, they're like Joker fries, and
Yeah, Joker.
this is in a comic where like Batman and like all four Robins are like eating at this fast food place together.
Yeah, I like when one of the
Yeah.
Robins like
No, seriously.
orders some Joker named item, and Bruce is like, "You realize Joker is one of the worst serial murderers of all time." And then he's like, "Yeah, but I like his sauce." Hey, can I get some?
Yeah, but I like the sauce.
That was a good joke they wrote out.
Man, Batman's done everything. Hasn't
He really has. Well, they don't. Again, that's what we were just talking about last night. I wish they would show more of that in the movies of him, like fucking.
he? Kind of more than God at this point.
Yeah, he's like Forrest Gump now.
Life is like a box of Batman.
Yeah, it's like a box of Batman.
Does his job ever get easier? Some of it, yeah. Some things never get easier, though.
They should both have stupid.
Roxxon did this.
No, I also thought the scarf was kind of stupid looking, and most of.
I mean, I asked if you wanted me to take it off, but you said no.
No, I mean
that was the right decision.
Yeah. I wanted to leave it on to see how stupid it would look and everything.
Right.
You just utterly killed any sense of dramatic tension.
Yes, exactly.
Well, if you play this later, you can do it without the scarf.
I fucking will. I'm surprised Spider-Man isn't like, or Peter's Spider-Man isn't like, I'm not a fucking pussy. I don't wear a scarf around in the winter every day. I have heating in this thing.
There you go.
That was good.
Yeah. Like a short, smaller little experience. Not like a full sequel.
Yeah.
Let's skip the credits here. And then, right, and then there's also a post-credit scene.
Harry thing?
Yep, another tease for Venom in the second game.
Got that Venom in him.
He does. He literally, he actually does this time.
Opportunity not having that song
play right now during the scene. Oh, and that's Kurt Connors.
This is...
No, that's Norman,
yeah,
the other guy right there.
I was like, yeah, pretty... His lizard looks awesome.
Yeah, that looks great.
What are they going to do, like a version of the lizard except he's a furry?
Please let that never happen.
Hopefully never, but
I guess that'd be a scary
we don't live in so lucky a world. We'll get a furry fucking lizard at some point.
Totally looks like a flipped over ice cream cone.
Oh, he's also got the little leggings on too.
Oh, nice. Gotta keep your ankles warm.
Yeah, it does make him seem kind of weak ass in a way. I don't know.
Wearing a scarf.
No, he has all these like little booties on, and
it's just a silly little winter costume.
Why didn't he go with some one-piece pajamas? Like,
I guess that's kind of what a Spider-Man costume is, right?
You should have like a pink jacket.
Yeah. I thought that was his scarf for a second. His arm, weird angled arm.
Or maybe you could have one of those like vests that you see like fishermen have and shit.
Yeah.
Hey, Mom, you busy?
Like Marty McFly or something.
Yeah.
Trinity Church.
That would look good, man.
Oh yeah.
And his hat should have had a bell on it.
And
that's true. He missed out on a whole Santa Claus angle.
yours.
Well, it's just too bad, I guess.
Jingling your balls.
What?
Seeing what happened to Rick?
Talking about shaving my balls?
Why she did it?
Fucking weirdo.
Oh, there's actually still like story going on here.
He's the reason Krieger's in jail.
It's just one little conversation here. There is some side mission stuff. That's kind of cool. There's like a series of like messages that you can go around and find that only unlock after you beat the story. That's it's like a series of messages that his dad left for him.
That conversation just made everything emotionally okay for Miles. Like, you don't have to feel sad that you blew up your friend. It's like, yeah, you're right, Mom. I don't feel bad about it anymore. I kind of disliked that final conversation.
I feel like we talked over most of it, so I think...
I caught a lot of the subtitles there. It was like just a lot of her being like, you just can't blame yourself for every murder that you innocent.
Okay, well, you didn't murder her.
But morally, that's like, I would expect Miles to kind of feel the guilt weight of that a little.
I don't think just telling him. I don't think that's good.
You don't think that's the end of it?
No. Every time anyone feels guilty about something, someone they care about tells them not to feel guilty about it. That's just always
in the dialogue, Miles' reaction was just kind of like, yeah, you're right. You always know how to make me feel better, Mom.
I wish his mom had gone harder on him. Like, yeah, she got to come on that bitch.
That almost sounds more convincing. It's like, oh, you're right, Mom. I see that side of it. She sucked as a person, and therefore it's fine.
Yeah, fuck it.
That logic tracks.
It does. All right. Well.
This is why we'd be terrible superheroes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would.
Someone's trying to.
All right. Well, on that note, we have finished. There you go. Now you are all prepared for Spider-Man 2 coming out October 17th.
No, yeah, I'm fucking super looking forward
Now
to
it's
it.
about to be your anus that gets prolapsed.
Wow, that's fun.